This News Update is brought to you by...
They ask us how we do it, how we outrun the world. They ask us, how does it feel to fly? How do we dive headfirst into the deep? And emerge victorious. They ask us if we're afraid, if we're nervous, or if we ever feel lonely, so far away from home. But the truth is, home is always right here with us. Get ready to witness the magic of the Olympic Games like never before.
It's Monday, August 8th, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. The coroner conducting the inquest into the apparent suicide of former Coleridge and Parry Secondary School boy Shemar Weekes will hand down her decision in the case on Monday. 12-year-old Weekes was found hanging at his Friars Well, Checker Hall, St. Lucie residence on May 14 last year. Our Emmanuel Joseph was in the coroner's court on Robert Street, St. Michael this morning and tells us more.
Before informing the court of her intention to deliver her judgment on Monday, Coroner Manila Rene was told that the 12-year-old boy had actually threatened to take his life on the morning of his death. This evidence is contained in a 5-page statement which Shemar's mother, Julianne Weekes, had given to the police 3 days after his death and which was made public for the first time today. The 41-year-old Weekes was not called to testify, but her statement was read out in her presence by Station Sergeant Anthony Cadogan, the officer who took that written statement from her. According to the mother, the boy had told his stepfather, Sean Graves, by telephone that fateful day that he was going to commit suicide. However, Weekes told police in the statement that Graves never informed her until after the tragedy. She admitted, though, that Shemar had also told her at least on 2 previous occasions he would kill himself, but she never took him seriously. She said she did not strangle her son, neither did she see anybody do so. In her statement, the mother also said the last time she saw Shemar was alone in the yard of their Checker Hall home. Weekes said when she discovered her son hanging from a drawstring, she did not sound the alarm to her neighbors because she and them did not get along. She only called her boyfriend, the same Sean Graves. Weekes' statement said that when Shemar left school on the morning he died, he did not appear to be in a depressed state of mind. The mother recalled that before she discovered him hanging, the two of them had a tug-of-war with the bedroom door because when she tried to get out, he was holding onto the knob from outside, eventually jammed. Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
Workers at the Fair Trading Commission were thrown into mourning today following the sudden death of the Director of Consumer Protection, Judy Maynard. The 61-year-old reportedly collapsed in the bathroom at the FTC's Green Hill St. Michael headquarters sometime this morning. Shocked workers subsequently sought assistance for her, but when an ambulance arrived at the FTC, the mother of 2 was unresponsive and later pronounced dead at the scene. The Warrens Crescent St. Thomas resident was a diabetic but had no other history of illness. A post-mortem is to be conducted to establish the cause of death. Her sudden passing resulted in the temporary closure of the FTC's office, while distraught staffers received professional counseling services. Police are disputing claims that shots were fired at the Jolly Roger cruise last night. 3 people, 2 men and a woman, had to seek medical attention after they were injured following the incident, which occurred at 10 minutes past 10. While lawmen disclosed that 2 people who were on board the pleasure cruise, which was on its return leg, were injured, the incident, they say, was as a result of an altercation on land. The victims received injuries to their legs and arms. Their names are being withheld as investigations continue. Investigations are on the way into a fire that gutted a business at My Lord's Hill over the weekend. Police say the business, TJ Rotisserie, was destroyed in the blaze, which occurred around 3:30 Saturday afternoon. 8 fire officers and 2 tenders responded to the fire. The Barbados Union of Teachers signals plans for more protest action in the coming days. This after the executive, led by Pedro Shepherd, staged a peaceful protest a short distance away from the Ministry of Education over a pay dispute. Shepherd told Barbados Today the action was to highlight the union's disgust at the manner in which the ministry is dealing with the docking of pay for teachers who attended 2 union meetings earlier this year.
We have not heard anything from the Prime Minister, who is the Minister of Civil Service. We have not heard anything from the Permanent Secretary of Education, and this matter cannot die. The Barbados Union of Teachers is going to keep this matter on the forefront. This is probably the first time in the history of the union that we have had to use our summer holiday to come and bring issues to the fore. And if it takes coming out during the holidays, we are prepared to do it because we have a responsibility to our members. There are over 700 members whose salaries were down to the tune of about $335. In some cases, some persons had their mortgage payments down. So it is a serious matter, and we have to fight it to the end. And so we are going to be here today until 12, peacefully picketing. We are going to be here tomorrow again until 12. And if by the 1st of September there is no resolution to this matter, then we will take it further. And come the 5th of September, when school is about to restart in terms of planning week, then we would have to take further action. But we have to do what we have to do to get the salaries restored for the teachers.
In sports, Jamaican sprint star Usain Bolt is urging the public, especially Brazilians, to come out and watch him make history one last time at Rio 2016 Olympic Games. In a message to his over 4 million Twitter followers, Bolt said, 5 days until the start of track and field. Get your tickets. The Rio 2016 organizers have billed the Jamaican as a major attraction for track and field events, which gets going on Friday. Jamaican swimmer Aaliyah Atkinson was the only bright spark for Caribbean swimmers last night as she secured a place in the final of the women's 100-meter breaststroke in Rio. A late race surge saw Atkinson clock in 1 minute 6.52 seconds to finish third in the semi-final number 2 and secure her overall position as the 6th fastest qualifier. The race was won by informed American Lily King, who clocked 1 minute 5.70 seconds ahead of Shi Jingling, 1 minute 6.31 seconds, and Kate Melly, who clocked an identical time to Atkinson. The 27-year-old, who narrowly missed out on a medal spot at the 2012 Olympic Games in London, will look to not only be the first Jamaican to medal in the event, but also just the second for the country outside of athletics.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Read all about it, read all about it. Get your paper, only $2.25, let's get your paper.
You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados today on my phone, and I just get my news for free.
What do she?
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors, the Trinidad and Tobago government says it is still waiting on official word on whether 9 people detained in Turkey are nationals. Reports say the detainees were on their way to join ISIS in Syria. More in this report from TV6 News.
Still no official word on whether 9 people recently detained in Turkey, allegedly on their way to join ISIS in Syria, are actually TNT nationals.
We believe that they are Trinidadians, but we're still waiting on confirmation, because it's difficult to, without that confirmation, to be really certain exactly who they are and why they're there.
Turkey is not obligated to tell this country anything before deporting TNT nationals, but the National Security Minister said, as far as he knows, so far there hasn't been any sign of the 9 ISIS wannabes at Piarco International Airport.
And we continue to monitor our borders. And of course, to a large extent, we also have been liaising with our international partners who have the intelligence reach that we don't have.
Confirming a newspaper report that the government plans to meet with members of the Muslim community to discuss ISIS-related issues, Dillon said those meetings haven't been scheduled as yet, but will happen in the near future.
We must be able to find out what are the motivational factors that allow our young people to go into far places to deal with conflict and so on.
On the international scene, emergency workers in Mexico are searching for survivors following the passage of Tropical Storm Earl. Landslides from the passing system left at least 40 people dead, most of them from the state of Puebla in central Mexico. Officials say dogs have been brought in to search for those missing. Some outlying areas are still inaccessible. Earl had hit earlier in Belize and Guatemala in Central America. And on that note, we come to the end of our news and sports updates, but there's more on our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, or you can tune in to Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM for the very latest. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.